This podcast today is brought to you by Our 365. Our 365 is all about inspiring people in organizations, in business, to be the very, very best that they can be. We know that organizations function so much better when the people who work in the businesses are fired up. They're in the best possible place they can be mentally, physically, and emotionally. To find out more, check out our365.me. That's our365.me. Mi365 Podcasts with me, Pete Cohen. Good evening, everyone. It's Pete Cohen here, and thank you very much for joining us for this very special Mi365 broadcast. Mi365, we've been going now for nearly 2 years, and last year we had our member of the year with Stefan Blom. We have a member of the month every month. Many of you know we just had the Mi365 Summit. It was the second Mi365 Summit. And Mi365, for those of you that don't know what it is, we are basically a story-based business. We love to help people create the stories that they want. The reality is, for most of us, the life we're living, we might not necessarily have chosen that life. And if we could go back in time, we'd probably change a few things. But I think many people don't realize that their future could be anything they want their future to be. For most of us, we just settle for where we are. And I don't know about you, I love superheroes, but I believe the superheroes that we see aren't necessarily in the movies. They're everyday people, just like you and me, who have decided to do something incredible. So our member of the month for 2017 is the absolutely amazing Carmen. Can we all just say good evening to Carmen? Good evening, Carmen.
Good evening, Pete.
How are you? How are you doing today?
I'm amazing. Thank you very much for asking.
Well, first off, we announced that you were the member of the month at the Summit 2017. Listen, let me ask you, did you have any idea? Did you honestly think maybe it could be me?
No, not at all. I was, how did the English say it? I was gobsmacked.
Really?
I really was, yeah.
And then, so when you found out, how did you feel? What was your initial feeling?
My first reaction was, seriously? And then the second one was, but there are others that were, and then I stopped, I shut Bertha up immediately and went, yeah, baby.
So fantastic. So Bertha is the duck in your head, right?
Yeah, that's Bertha. Oh, where'd she go? Yeah, she's somewhere around here.
You've got rid of her. So the duck in your head in the past would have said something completely different to you.
Yeah, immediately it tried to intervene. Bertha tried to intervene, but I shut her right down. And yeah, I'm really proud of what I've accomplished. And you know what I received in this little black box. I'll show it to everybody. I've got Bertha on steroids now.
Wow. Well, we'll talk about the golden duck, because anyone who doesn't know anything about the ducks must think we're a bit strange, but we're not strange. We're just people that are deciding that we want to live a great life. And you know, Carmen, for me, when we spoke and I said to Hannah, you know, my wife, who's obviously a massive part of what we do, I said, who do you think should be member of the year? And she just immediately said, Carmen. And I said, why do you think Carmen? And then the one word I remember, she just said, she's so consistent. And you are incredibly consistent. And I think consistency is a real key part of success. So I'd love to find out a little bit about, you know, your story, but let's just start from the top. Since you've been a Mi365 member, tell us a little bit about kind of like what you've achieved.
What have I achieved? Well, I've lost a little bit of weight.
How much weight?
25 pounds, which I think is what, 1.5 stone maybe.
Yeah.
I've become less. My mind has stopped racing at a million miles a minute, and I'm able to focus and concentrate a lot better. I don't get distracted. The tools that Mi365 has given me in order to make all of that happen has been really a blessing. What have I accomplished? I have accomplished stop going into work angry and upset, and I've learned to smile and not get offended when people don't smile back at me. To love this, to love Carmen even more, and to take advantage of all the opportunities. And another thing is, I think one of the key things is that I have a choice. Before, I went along with the masses, and I knew things were different, but why change? Why do this stuff? And I knew I had a bigger purpose. I knew things were definitely not right where I was a year and a half ago when I was introduced to Mi365, and it just really helped me pull the pieces together.
Well, I mean, I met you, I don't know how long ago it was. When I met you, I thought, wow, this is such a lovely lady. But in getting to know you and see your development, I've just seen you become a much better version of yourself. And, one of the things that is amazing to see is when you see people stand in their own light and say, look, I did this. Look, great. Thank you very much. You helped me, but I did it. I did it. How important do you think it is for people to kind of own their own personal development?
Yeah, it's yours. It's nobody else's. You're doing, I do this, like I say this all the time. I know I said it at the summit. I said it in a couple of my videos. I do this for me. And it just, because I do it for me, it inspires everybody else, because I need to take care of Carmen. Nobody else is going to do it. I've been going through so much stuff the last couple of months. These little paradigm shifts have been incredible. And one of the things that I've realized is I've always been like in the movies, waiting for somebody to come save me and everything is going to be wonderful. It don't happen like that. Carmen has to do it for herself. And it was time to really just take it to the next level. And yeah, that's what I'm just excited. Bring it on, the challenges. That was another learning for me. The challenges, they're going to come, and instead of sitting back and crying over them or stressing over them, just deal with it and keep moving. And that for the last couple of months has been incredible.
Yeah, and you're someone who I like to follow. You're someone I'm always looking out for. When Carmen makes a video sharing what she's learned, I want to listen, because I think, okay, what can I learn? What can I learn from you? And you've become someone, as you've said, a lot of people want to follow you. And I suppose that's a really cool thing, because you're living life by example. So there's two questions I'd like to ask you. The first question is, and you alluded to this before, about your purpose, finding your purpose. Why do you think it's important for people to have a big purpose in life? And what's yours?
Why should people have a purpose in life? It just gives you direction. It gives, for me, this week, oh wow, I just, this week in your topic, purpose, has really, and Patty over the weekend, and everything that we've been doing up to this point has been pivotal for me, because I've been kind of playing with my purpose. Is my purpose to help people? Is my purpose to, get to the moon? I don't know. And I really nailed it down actually yesterday. My purpose is to help my family stop the circle of hopelessness, that lost feeling. That's my purpose. But I have many missions. So, my missions are to help and inspire others that no matter what you've ever been through, you can keep going. Things don't have to be ugly and doom and gloom. I can smile, and even when, stuff is coming at me, I still smile. So my purpose is my family. You all know there's a lot of issues going on, so I need to show them by example that we can get to the other side. And yeah, my missions. So yeah.
I love that. I mean, for me, that's just so profound. It's hard to actually articulate words to explain what you just said. I mean, what I heard is you want to help and inspire people who are feeling helpless, hopeless, and show them regardless of what has happened. And I believe that you're already doing that. And you know what, when you have a purpose like that, I suppose when challenges come your way, you think, well, hang on, I got to live my purpose. So, because I really like that. And I know we've got a whole load of people here who are watching, who I know we've got Marty, who's one of your biggest fans. I know she's in Hawaii. And I saw some other people, Desi and Yvonne, these people who really look to you. And I know you look to some other people. Why is it, do you think, important to have people around you that are on a similar quest or a similar vibration as you? What difference do you think that makes?
Yeah, I think we are all, we all take from each other the inspiration and the light, meaning we vibe off of one another. It's so funny. I might be having one of those moments and I'll just happen to be on a break and I'll look at my phone and I'll see somebody's post and it inspires me and it puts a smile back on my face. And we're all at different parts of our journey, and I can see in some people where they are, I was there, and what I did to move forward and bring myself out of it. And you are so right by saying, and I used to do this all the time, people used to come up to me and ask me for advice or for help, or because they know I've been through a lot. And I always used to give the advice. But then if they didn't take the advice or the advice backfired, it would be on me. Yeah. They mad at me instead of, whatever they were doing. And so I really have brought on board what you say about not giving people advice. Lead by example. And if I'm leading by example, I'm leading myself as well. Yeah. I want to be proud of that.
Yeah, and you are. I remember years ago working with people, and like you, I'm just getting better. And as I get better, people around me seem to get better. But I remember years ago helping a couple of ladies in particular who had really taken responsibility for what they were doing. And then when I hadn't seen them for a while and I saw them again, everything about them, their posture, their energy, I actually had to just take a step back because they had become forces to be reckoned with, powerful people. And I don't think we realize just how much power we have and creativity we have. Have you surprised yourself in what you've found out about yourself going through a journey of developing you?
Most definitely. It has really brought all those things that I have been, those personal things that I've been avoiding dealing with. If I'm going to move forward, let's get this out of the way. And your daily broadcasts and the elite work that we do really bring out the stuff that is in my subconscious that I have hidden for so long and that I was afraid to deal with. But once I dealt with it and identify it and I draw pictures and write about it, I move through it, and it's such a peaceful feeling.
Yeah, it really is. And I know that, you probably, like me and like many people, you've had, a challenging time. Tell us a little bit about your story, whatever you feel comfortable sharing.
No worries. I was born in Germany. My mother was German. My father was African American. I was born in 1962, went back to the United States, and we had just passed the Civil Rights Act. So things were still pretty crazy, especially for a biracial family. And even though my parents practiced peace, love, and happiness to everybody, you still cannot avoid things. So I had all kinds of different things going on in my life, the dynamics that I was with my family. My father was a businessman, but he was also, what do they call it, a womanizer. And so I was raised in that and how my mother dealt with those dynamics. And what was really interesting, what I found out through my journey with Mi365, is I brought on a lot of those characteristics. My mother's attitude was if I kept the house clean, the girls clean, everything was in its place and it was perfect, he would stop what he was doing. And I finally recognized I had that same behavior. So my father molested me from the age of about 9 to 15. Before that, I had an uncle that molested me and a neighbor. And I was the fat, ugly, teased. I was bullied at school. So all of this attention I thought was really cool until I found out that it wasn't so cool. And then at 15, I started to rebel and do some stuff I shouldn't have been doing. Got in with crowds that I shouldn't have been with. I was, but it all happened for a reason.
Yeah.
I married an individual who was just like my father. It's funny how, you marry or you get with individuals that, that are just like people that So anyway, very challenging. My first husband was a drug addict. We had 2 children together, very tough times. I was homeless in that stage of my life about 3 or 4 times. Lost everything that I've owned a couple of times. Substance abuse, you name it, been there, done that. But I always made sure that I worked. And if I didn't work, I was at home with my children. So I had a lot of values and principles. It was just really crazy, and trying to get to the point where my life is not working. I've got to make some changes.
Yeah.
I had to make some changes. 15 years ago. Yep. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, Carmen, I didn't know any of that.
Yeah.
And I appreciate, so much you sharing that. And I think people will see you in a different light, and hopefully in a light of, look what this person has been through and look who they've become. Because,
if anything that I can get, if I can tell anybody, we've all been through challenge. I've been through some stuff. It gets better.
Yeah. We
get through it. We really, really do. No matter what we're going through, we always get, and that's one of the things that I used to, my life, and now I look at it now and go, I just wasted so much time woo-wooing. Anyway, go ahead, Pete, sorry.
Well, listen, I could listen to you talk for hours. I didn't know that, and we're kind of living our life in reverse. We're like going, let's get it better. Let's crescendo this up. As we get older, we get better. And you to me are an absolute superhero in every sense, because the superhero, is the protector. And I know how you've always wanted to protect the people close to you. But now, through everything that you've been through, you want to help people who are in a helpless, hopeless, maybe situation. But I must imagine that you want those people to want to get better. It's just remarkable. And you should see some of the comments here. I encourage you to afterwards go back and just look at some of the things that people are saying here. I love the personal development self as no age barrier. Once you decide it's time, we don't do pity parties. Marty Malone is going absolutely crazy with her messages. Yvonne Taylor is saying superhero Carmen. I just wanted to, ask you a couple more questions. And, I'm excited to continue to grow with you because you probably know this. And I think quite a few of our Mi365ers know this, that in a few weeks, we're going to change things around. The goal is this. The goal is to create more and more incredible people, just everyday people that want to surround themselves with like-minded people who all have goals, big purposes they want to actualize and optimize and work together. And you are a really important part of that community, Carmen. And I'm excited to see where we can take this and how much everyone can help each other. So what would you say? I think you've probably answered all my questions. Well, yeah. What would you say to anyone out there that's kind of looked at Mi365 and has kind of played around a little bit and just looked at maybe a couple of the broadcasts but never really committed? What would you say to that person?
Yeah. I say this all the time. I wish I would have got serious sooner. But
yeah.
Everybody is on their own journey. And you see people right at the edge and you're like, just take the leap. This is going to be so good for you. I had been dabbling in self-development for quite a few years. Like I say all the time, I just didn't know how to pull the pieces together. I needed a coach. You say it all the time. We all need a coach.
Yeah.
And I truly believe that. And it's just for people who, they just, you gotta have that leap of faith. And when you're ready, it comes.
Yeah, I think we've all played around with personal development in the past, and I was very fortunate. I had a coach that was very hard to hide from him. It's almost like he always knew what I was doing, and he'd give me advice sometimes, and I wouldn't do it, and it was like, well, I told you what to do. It's just advice. It's what you do with it. Carmen, tell us, as we kind of to wrap this up, I know we have a webinar at 8 o'clock this evening for our elite members, but tell us a few of why is it important to have rituals, and what are your rituals? What are your non-negotiables?
So my non-negotiables, first thing I get up is, 5, 4, 3, the activation energy gets me out of bed. So I'm moving. Head downstairs, glass of water, make my bulletproof coffee. I'm back upstairs. I journal. I do my affirmations and my meditation. That's non-negotiable. Some mornings I go and work out. That is a non-negotiable on those mornings that I do that. I have to work out in the morning because if I wait till 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock after work, it ain't happening. So I try to get those important rituals first done in the morning, and then my end rituals in the evening. Again, journaling. I take a look at my wall of inspiration before I go to bed. Say my affirmations. Why rituals? Who knew that just doing simple habits every day would help me get to where I needed to go? And I think at first I tried to do all of them all at once. And, you taught us, one rabbit at a time. And so I had to start getting up 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I had to do that for a month until I got used to it, until it stuck, until I didn't it wasn't a fight. I propelled myself to, it's so amazing when you start doing this stuff. And then the next step was making sure I was drinking the water. And then the next step was journaling. It just all fell into place. Some things I learned quicker than others. Why is it important to me? It keeps me on track.
Yeah.
It gives me, when the obstacles do come along, it keeps me from getting distracted and dwelling on them. I have things to do. I don't have time to, worry and fuss. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, no, it is.
Little things.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, right? And I think one of the things, I'm learning so much myself because I get up in the morning. I want to I want to learn, I want to grow, and then I want to teach. And then on top of that, I want to meditate, I want to exercise, yoga, whatever it is. But it's and I've only just started to, I'd say to everyone, I've only started to really comprehend how much better I am because I've been doing that. And it might not seem much at the time, but when you look back and you think, wow, look at what I've put, look who I've become. It's like that thing, right, Carmen? Do you want $3 million right now, or 3 million pounds right now? Or do you want a penny and I'll double it every day for 31 days?
Yeah,
Most people would say, give me the penny, because I'm going to make 10,700,000. And it's all that, those efforts. So I'm excited to see your continual growth. And I can't thank you enough, because people learn from me, of course they do. But I really believe people learn just as much from people like you that are showing the way. So thank you so much for showing up and being a great example. And let's make this year super incredible. I would encourage everyone to follow Carmen. And, she's not there to make your life better. She's there to make her life better. And I believe by doing that, she shows so many of us, she liberates us to realize if she can do it, I can do it. So Carmen, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I know your name is actually up here in lights, which is, this was from the Mi365 Summit 2017, where I brought over the amazing Patty Dolbonowski, I think I pronounced her name correctly, and taking the time to bring color into our life. And Carmen, that's what you do for me. You bring color into my life, and I really appreciate it. Guys, have a wonderful evening. If you're watching this, which I know many people are, thank you so much for your time. Carmen, take care. Give us a wave.
Peace, people. Peace, love, and happiness.
Peace, love, and happiness. Please feel free to share this. How many people's lives do you think would be richer just by watching this interview with Carmen, our member of the year for 2017? Thank you for watching, guys. Thank you for all your lovely comments. We really, really appreciate it. Take care. We'll see you soon. And much love to all. It's a goodbye from me, and it's a goodbye from Carmen. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I hope you enjoyed this podcast. And if you want more free inspiration to optimize your life so you can achieve your goals in all the different areas of your life, then visit mi365.me. That's mi365.me, and sign up to 365 days of free coaching with me, Pete Cohen. Thanks for listening, and have an awesome day.